Hey everyone, I'm back again, and today I'm coming to you after an amazing last actual couple of hours that I've just spent with everybody in the Limitless Potential community just now. So I'm really excited and pumped to actually dive into today's particular message with you guys, because I'm going to take some seriously interesting angles with each and every one of you guys, because I want to share and highlight some of the amazing experiences that everybody in this team that I've got going on. And Brom's in the house. Brom was with us today. So good to see you. Glad you're not sick of me yet. But basically, I want to share and highlight a couple of the stories that were really shared in our group meeting today on Zoom. And I really want to dive into the wisdom. And it's all on today's topic that I want to share with you guys today. So if you are someone who has struggled with your sense of deserving success, maybe it's kind of like you know what you're doing wrong, but then you tend to kind of get caught up, and maybe you get self-sabotaging, and maybe you just don't know why it's happening for you. Why is it that you're not maybe having the success that you want, or you're getting the results that you really want in any area of life? This could be with your health, this could be with your relationships, this could be in your business, in your finances, wherever it is that you have some sort of vision that you really, really want something with, and you're not getting it. Today's message could be for you. And just to say hi to Vanessa again as well, because you were with us this morning as well. So good to see each and every one of you guys joining, and please play along at home. I really would love to hear from you guys. And like I said, I'm going to share some little bits and pieces from what went on in our catch-up call with the Limitless Potential Academy Inner Circle today. So today's topic is you deserve to have it all, right? That's the first message. You deserve it all. Whatever that is. Whatever that means to you, you deserve to have it all. That life that you ultimately would just dream about, the relationship that you want, the health that you want, the career that you want, the clients that you want, the family that you want, the friends that you want, all of that stuff. If it really lights you up in your soul, and you can tell I'm even getting emotional about it, just thinking about it, if you can get to that level of connection with something that you really would love to create in your life, then my message for you is that you absolutely deserve to have it all, okay? The second part of today's message is you are not limited by the judgments of others. Okay, and I really want you to sit with this. You are not limited by the judgments of others. Whatever anybody has to say about your vision, no matter what anybody else has to say about the person that you are, none of it limits you, okay? And this is, I'm going to dive into it with you guys and share these stories with you, and share, of course, my own personal struggle with this as well. But this is really ultimately what I'm talking about today, is the whole concept behind limitless potential, right? Limitless potential, and, the whole branding of what I do and the podcast and everything like that. What it's really about is not being this idealistic, everything's limitless and there's no limits to anything and blah, 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 blah. It's not actually that. There's part of those things that can be juicy and good for it, whatever. But what it really is about being limitless in your pursuit of your own potential. And what that really means is being deeply connected to what authentically inspires you, and having the freedom to go after and pursue that, despite who or what you may perceive you may lose in your external world. Okay, so that's what I mean when I talk about limitless potential. It's really your authentically inspired path with courage and determination to actually actualize that in your lifetime, and not be trapped in self-doubt and limitations based on what you feel other people may have to say about that, or maybe something that you've been told when you're younger. You know, any of those messages that we've been given, either verbally or non-verbally, about our capacity as a human being and what's possible for us. That's really what I'm going to be diving into with you guys today. And I hope that you can... I've got a bit of a different energy. I don't know if you can pick up on it today. Usually I'm pretty energized and enthusiastic and passionate. Today I feel so in my heart because of the conversations that I've been having with this beautiful community. And what inspires me so much is, and I mention this all the time, but it's kindness and connection through authenticity between strangers. And I'm so grateful and inspired by the quality of people that I get to connect with and interact with, because they so openly share their personal experiences, and everybody gets to benefit from that. And it's really what sparked today's message for me to share with you guys today. So I hope you get as much value from what I'm about to share as I got and everybody else in this community got today. So there's 3 particular people that are highly different, also have some crossover with today's topic. And they're very unique individuals. I'm not going to say any names. You won't know who I'm talking about, but I just want to share the part of their story that I know will resonate with you guys out there. The first beautiful human being that I want to share the story of is somebody that, you know, in this global pandemic and the craziness going on in the world right now, there's a lot of us who are having financial struggles, business struggles, where, you know, and in particular, this was the battle going on for this beautiful human being. And they were losing clients and they were getting very stressed out about that. They were losing the certainty that they had in their life. And that's a very legitimate struggle to have, like particularly in today's climate and what's going on in the world. It's very uncertain. But as we got into it and we spoke about it, and personally I could just see so much myself in this human being that, you know, we got questioning it, and we got and I listened to the language, and basically what it came down to was there was this disappointment, you know, that this person felt like when they had a client, you know, no longer be able to continue the path of the journey that they were on with them. And there was this sense of disappointment, and it just felt like disappointment after disappointment after disappointment was going on right now. And then as they reflected, they also brought up this conversation or this story about how so always in my life, like something starts moving forward and then there's a big disappointment. It's like it gets taken away from me. And it keeps happening, and it's a theme in my life. And anything that's a theme in your life, let me tell you, is very connected with something when you were much younger, right? And it's played out. Somebody bigger than you, somebody with more authority than you, somebody that you put your trust in, has given you a message of some variety that's led you to play out this pattern over and over again. And we've all got this stuff going on, every single one of us. I could talk for days about mine, right? And basically questioning and having this conversation, basically what it got to was the fact that this person was able to make the connection points for themselves, that actually they could see that the same challenge they were being presented with right now was stemming from, and this common theme in their life of this disappointment and having things taken away from them actually stemmed from something that was happening with their mother or as a child, and having, you know, being given things and then having those things taken away and told, you don't actually deserve that. So think about that. Think about that. To be told that you don't deserve something that you got so excited about. Somebody that you loved gave you something and then took it away and told you don't deserve that. That great thing, you don't deserve it. And basically being able to make that connection point to such a young age, and then see how does this apply to this current circumstance and the theme of my life of being excited about things and then feeling disappointed because it feels like it's out of my control and it gets taken away from me. It was really stemming from a lack of sense of, I deserve this. Like, I deserve this thing that excites me. I deserve to have the success that I want. And when they're able to make that connection, that's always the first point of call. That's where all transformation is born, is when we have an awareness and a realization of where stuff came from. Because we continue to recycle the same old patterns. And it may have come from somebody else telling us that we don't deserve that great thing that we're excited about. And then we're, as adults, we have all the knowledge, we have all the, the expertise to know this stuff consciously. But why do we stay in the patterns? Because we haven't acknowledged the deeper truth that's underneath that, and acknowledged and identified where it came from, and realized it's not actually ours. All right. And this is a huge part of the initial work that I do with people. So the first stage of coaching that I always do with people is a clearing of the past, because we've all got these anchors. We've all got these different situations, no matter how, you don't even need to have somebody who, created a victim out of you, or was abusive, or you didn't even have to have a huge traumatic experience to have all these anchors from the past that are guiding your behavior and getting you trapped in different patterns. And when we have some processes to clear the past, cut ties with the anchors with peace, not negating it all and trying to shut it down, because whatever we resist persists, right? We don't want it directing our lives, but to actually have the courage and the consciousness to identify those anchors and have a real beautiful process of clearing that up and becoming at peace with the past is always where we have to start. And I've tried for years to get beyond this. I tried for years to have to get to skip over this bit, right? I don't want to recycle the past. I don't want to go back there. I want to go to the future. I want what I want. But it wasn't until I actually had some experiences that forced me into this to actually do the work to clear the past and be open to it, that everything cleared up for me. And I was out of the trap and the suffering that comes with knowing that you're sabotaging your own success, but not knowing how to go about getting out of that pattern, right? So that's the first story. And I hope you could see yourself in that, because everybody who was in this community today and having this beautiful human being step forward with courage to share, what they were struggling with, and then the openness to allow me to ask some questions, and then for them to come with that awareness and make that connection point. That's so pivotal. And everybody in the group was able to get value from that. So that's why I wanted to share that with you, because I'm so grateful that that beautiful human being showed up and gave that value to us. And I hope me just articulating that for you will give you that same experience. The next amazing human being who joined us in the Limitless Potential community today shared about a very different story and a very different life that this person lives. And they shared this incredible story and journey about their whole childhood and getting to the point where they are today. And they're amazingly successful in their life right now, right? But they didn't start off that way. They actually started off with very abusive parents and got to the point as a young child asking, what's wrong with me? Like, what is wrong with me to have all this abuse and to be treated this way? And I'm so grateful that this person actually had an answer come for them. And it's not an answer that many of us get. But the answer was, when they asked the question, what's wrong with me to be getting this kind of treatment? They actually had an answer come up for them, which was brilliant, which was, what's wrong is with them. It's not with you. And what happened was, this person set themselves on a journey of getting themselves to a point where they didn't have to rely on these abusive people in their lives anymore. And it set them on this whole trajectory on their life to build their own success, to get to where they are today, and to be able to help and support people in the most meaningful way possible, which is to help them create freedom so that they love their life every single day. It's incredible. right? And this stuff that I'm sharing with you right now, most people don't share or talk about any of this stuff that I'm sharing right now, right? It's deeply private stuff, what we share in these communities, but it's so powerful and moving. And I will say as well, each of these people who shared today said something that we all say and we all do, which is, oh, I'm talking too much about myself. Oh, just quickly, I want to respect everybody's time, right? I do it all the time as well. And I just want to say, like, you deserve to shine. You deserve to share your truth. You deserve to be heard and valued. All right? Because like I said, you're not limited by anybody else's judgments. No matter who they are, no matter who they were to you, you're not limited by any of that. And you have real value. And the value to us is received when you share authentically and openly and personally. All right? The last person I just want to mention in today's message for you guys is another incredible human being. Again, I'm just super grateful. Like everybody watching this video, I'm so grateful for each and every one of you guys. Before I share that, something that just came up for me today. Somebody sent me a message today and it was so funny it made me laugh. But then it actually got me really deep. And it's about you guys. So somebody sent me a message today and it was I literally laughed out loud because it was so funny. And they said to me, you know, I love your messages and like I always want to just like fast forward to the end. No, I like what you're saying, but I want to fast forward to the end when you talk and connect with everybody. And they said, I just love that you do that. But like the way they're like, oh, you know, Jerry's in the house and this and this and that and whatever. And I laughed because, yeah, I do that every time we got on one of these messages. And my response really was to laugh, but then also to go, but that's my favorite part, is connecting with you guys, because I'm so grateful for each and every one of you guys who give me this opportunity to just talk about what I feel is the most important stuff that we could be communicating about in our lives for real fulfillment and for reaching our potential. And I couldn't do it if you guys didn't show up. And, you know, I wouldn't be talking to anybody, right? And so that's the reason why I get all gushy at the end, because I honestly really appreciate each and every one of you guys. And it means the world every single time I know that somebody gets some sort of value from what I'm sharing, because I really do want to share authentically and from my heart. And that's my whole purpose, is to hopefully add some sort of value to you guys. So that's just a side note, but let's get to this other incredible human being. And this person, another incredibly different journey. And the journey that they were on in their lives was one in which they were completely isolated from the rest of humanity. They grew up in a cult in which they couldn't even learn anything. They couldn't even study history unless it was coming from their so-called prophet. So this person was completely isolated in a community that knew nothing about the world outside of those walls. They couldn't save money. They couldn't build towards anything. Everything was directed by some authority figures, right? And one of the things that moves me so much about this person, who I feel so grateful to, that they let me into their lives and I get to coach them personally. But one of the most moving things about this person is that growing up in this cult, they always had to smile. They always had to have a smile on their face, right, as being part of this cult. Because if they didn't, it would mean that they didn't love their God, they didn't love their prophet. It was all these meanings. So they had to be always smiling, always happy. There was no room for the full emotional experience of any individual. And this person showed up today, and what I most admire and appreciate about them is that they are showing up in the true authentic expression of what's going on for them. And they were having a challenging time. Some things were getting discussed in the group that were a little bit triggering based on their own experiences. And they didn't feel on top of the world. In fact, they felt quite low in their energy, quite sad, quite disconnected. But they didn't try and mold anything. They didn't try to smile and be happy. They actually just sat with the truth of their own emotional experience. And that's a very challenging thing to do in a group environment in our society. And I really admired and appreciated that. And one of the things I also appreciate about this person is that they are creating vision for themselves and connecting to something that they actually want in their lives, despite where they've come from and despite what they were told they deserved. And despite how they had to be told whether they were worthy enough or not to have different things in their lives and deemed worthy or unworthy, that this person has had to take a whole fresh slate and start their life all over again outside of a cult to reconnect with who they actually are and what their emotions are, the full expression of them, and their experiences in their life, and what things mean to them and what they actually want in this lifetime. They're having the courage to actually create that in their lives, even though they've grown up in this way that most of us can't even fathom, right? So the reason why I share these stories with you today is because I'm deep. I don't know if you can tell, you guys who've been watching me for a while, like I feel differently today, and it's because of how impacted I am by the beauty that I see in humanity. And that might sound all whatever, but I've gotten to connect with the authentic core of people today, which you don't get to do every day, unfortunately. Most people rarely do it with their intimate partner. And that's another reason why I'm just filled with gratitude and appreciation for each and every one of you guys who contribute to conversations like this, who are part of the Limitless Potential Academy, who join me on the podcast and listen to amazing interviews and connect in any of these live videos or any of the posts and get any sort of value from it. That's why I do what I do, and I appreciate you. All right, so I hope that this has moved you. I hope that you've gotten some value from these stories and these very unique, special human beings sharing their own personal journey and having the courage to do so. And yeah, I hope that that's been of value to you guys. And I definitely want to check in. So drop me a comment. Let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. And let me know, is this something that you need to focus on? Your deserve level. Because I know personally it's happened in my life, and I have to reconnect with this all the time. I have to be able to pick up on the times where I fall back into a comfort zone and I'm just kind of maintaining what I'm doing and slowly disconnecting from a grander vision and something that will push me and drive me. And sometimes it has a rude awakening behind it, that I'm doubting myself and I'm doubting my deserve level, or I'm putting the value and the course of my life in the hands of external sources, right? I'm being limited by the external when that's me limiting myself, right? So I hope this resonates with you, and let me check in with you guys, because I miss checking in with you guys and I want to have a chat, but I feel like I don't know. Anyway, let's get into it. Brom is in the house, and so good to see you. And Deb's here as well, and Vanessa and Juan. Buenos dias. Good morning from Spain. So good to have you. Hope you're doing well, my friend. So good to see you here, Vanessa. And Tim's in the house. Awesome. And Susie and Judy and Sue and Yola and Jerry's here and Angie. And hi, Vanessa. Thanks for your share. Always, Jerry. So good to have you here. Hope this is of value. And Damien's here as well. Much love to you, beautiful Vanessa. And Sean, loving that this was resonating with you. And Sonola's back. And Jerry, awesome message. I'm grateful to hear that. And be proud of ourselves where the magic happens. Absolutely. Oh gosh, like I remember one of my very first ever personal development journeys, you know, when I found myself in my very first Tony Robbins room, which was my introduction to all things personal development. And one of the exercises I'll never forget, I'm standing in this room filled with thousands of people, and we have to visualize, right? Tony Robbins is taking us through this visualization. And I have to visualize a moment in time that I'm proud of myself for. And I couldn't do it. Like this is back in 2013 when I was on the total wrong path. I'd done a business degree. I was on a law degree. Like I didn't know what I was doing with my life. I didn't know who I was or what I wanted. And I couldn't find one thing that I was proud of myself for. And I remember opening my eyes in this room full of thousands of people and looking around like, is anybody else struggling with this? Like, and everybody else was just happy and, you know, in this sense of pride in their face and their demeanor. And I knew at that moment, that's where my work was. And so that's why I'm getting so moved by everything today. But Jerry, yes, to be proud of ourselves is absolutely where the magic happens. When we're proud of ourselves, we know we deserve greatness. We get out of our own way. We believe in ourselves. And so it's why from that very moment back in 2013 when I realized I really struggled finding what I was proud of myself for, I started a practice where I journaled every single day. I didn't miss a beat for 2 straight years. And I wrote every morning when I woke up, one thing that I'm proud of myself for today is. I also connected it to one thing that I'm grateful for about myself today is. And one thing that I forgive myself today for is. I invite you guys to do the same. It made a tremendous impact on me and my own relationship with myself, to forgive myself for things that I was holding on to find what I was really proud of myself for and let that guide my life. Like who do I want to be? What would it mean for me to be proud of myself? What would that look like? What could I do to be proud of myself? And also be grateful for myself. You know, too much of our time is spent in self-judgment and self-loathing. So to find our ability to be, you know, truly grateful for ourselves is really important. So I love what you just shared there, Jerry. So powerful. And Mark's here as well, and Nwani and Vanessa, thank you for being you. So much love your way. And right back at you, beautiful soul. So much love for you. And yeah, awesome. Oh my gosh, the sun's hitting me again. I don't know with this Melbourne weather. 1 minute, it looks like it's about to rain. Next minute, smashed in the face with the sun. Anyway, I'll try and read your comments still. But I've got Wendy. Hi, Vanessa. I'm in Victoria. Oh, I had no idea you're another Victorian. Oh, we're in lockdown. You know, we've got to wear our face masks now. And it took me to have my first daughter 25 plus years ago to finally heal. I get so much out of this. Oh, awesome. I'm so grateful to hear that you're on that journey of healing and you've done so much of your own healing. And lovely to have you always join us. I always get excited when I see you pop up, and it's a beautiful journey. And you know what? Our healing is not just done for ourselves. It's done for your beautiful daughter, right? Because so much of the pain and the things that we do need to heal from in our lives, it didn't start with us. It's actually a pattern that we took from our mum, our dad, our grandma, whoever, you know, down from the generations. And we play this pattern out, just like the first beautiful human being story that I shared with you today. You know, they were continuing on the pattern of their mum, taking those things away from them, telling them you don't deserve this. They then took that pattern on, I don't deserve the things that excite me. And so that's the healing that we have to do, right? And you can't always do it on your own, I'll just say as well. You know, it's important to have support and people around us to be able to do that. And also on top of that, there's a lot that you can do on your own. That's super important for building that muscle of being able to trust yourself and believe in yourself as well. So I love that, Wendy, and how lucky your beautiful daughter is to have a mum who's dedicated to their growth and healing. That's beautiful. And thank you so much for sharing. And Cameron, much love to you. And Desmond is here as well. And Sean, I just got out of day 3 UPW. This is the after party. Well, that is awesome, Sean. I love that you just went to UPW. The Tony Robbins course the event that I was at with the pride that I needed to step into, that was actually my very first UPW. So I hope it's been amazing. Definitely would be different energy to what's going on in our conversation today. So I hope it's still after party. I mean, Tony Robbins stuff, oh my gosh, it's like going to a rock concert. It's like I could live there. So I love that, and I hope that you've gotten, and I bet you have gotten, so many deep insights today and connections and enlivenment around what actually matters in this life, right? So that's awesome, Sean. Love to hear that. But that really is my message for you guys today. I just want you to know your potential is actually limitless. And what I mean by limitless is authentically inspired. In fact, it's the only way to reach your potential in life is to be authentically inspired. Those things that really juice you and liven you up. No matter what anybody else says to you about the possibility of that being something you deserve or don't deserve, or you can have or you don't have, or is bad or wrong or good or whatever, it has no bearing on the limits that you either say no to or you succumb to, right? Your potential is there, ready to be actualized, but you have to be willing to let go and clear the past, let people go who aren't in alignment with it, be willing to go it alone for as long as you have to in order to live your most fulfilled existence. Don't settle, don't stifle yourself, don't dull yourself down. Find out what really, genuinely, authentically inspires you and be having the courage to pursue it with full force. That's my message for you guys today. I hope it's been of value. Remember, you deserve to have it all. Identify what that is for you and just know you deserve it. And you are not limited by the judgments of others. Okay, those are my really meaningful messages that I want to impart to you today. I hope they hit you in the heart where it matters. And as always, I want to tell you guys to just go out there, live authentically, love deeply, and contribute meaningfully. Okay, that's my message to each and every one of you guys. You touch my heart. Thank you to everybody who showed up today, and especially you guys in the Limitless Potential Academy. You blow my mind every time we connect. I'm very grateful for each and every one of you guys, and I can't wait to see you guys soon. So much love. Hope this has helped. If it's been of value, please do share it with anybody, your loved ones, whoever. And thank you again for joining me and contributing to the conversation today. You're so appreciated, and I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Much love.